What's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your flying locomotive and faster than a speeding bullet SuperCliff, coming at you live with a brand new video. And for today's majestic and fantastic video, we are back at it with some more super heroics with Superman issue number 13, part 2 to the House of Brainiac. Before we suit up and protect the world of DC, if you are new to the channel, then smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys never miss out on anything that happens on this majestic channel. So what are you waiting for? Let's raise the bar and go full on Super Saiyan. Hit that subscribe button. Thus, without further ado, let's get crazy with some Brainiac shenanigans with Superman issue number 13. Alrighty folks, so our story begins with a Lobo, and here we have everyone's favorite 90s relic causing mayhem in Warrior's Bar over in Coast City. Because you see, after escaping Grafton Farm's lab and because the Earth is enforced by the Green Lantern Corps via the United Planets to quarantine the planets, Mofo can't leave. He's stuck on Earth. However, it isn't long until the Man of Steel shows up. And after a little scuffle, Superman informs that he's here in the form of a truce. For we're about to have a team-up session, folks. A team-up session against Brainiac. And speaking of Brainiac, we check in on the nefarious villain on his skull ship. And while the army of Caesarians are partying hard after a victorious battle, Brainiac is conducting painful experiments on live wire and parasites. Meanwhile, Supergirl, powerless and miniaturized in a bottle, is yelling, basically telling Brainiac to stop being such a jerk. Brainiac claims to have learned all the knowledge in the multiverse, and now he must create something new because he's bored and because he's lonely. Suddenly he spasms out and electricity starts to spark out of him. After he collapses and vomits some green liquid, which, by the way, ew gross, 4 of his alternate selves carry him away to help him recover. Back on Earth, Superman shows Lobo a recording of the attack from the previous issue. And as one could expect, Lobo is shocked because Lobo, since his inception, has been the sole remaining Caesarian. So yeah, it makes sense he's like, WTF. But he knows this is the real deal when he recognizes General Chaco, whose moniker is known as Bad Blood. And by the way, Chaco looks 1000% like Kratos. Therefore, seeing there's a lot of unanswered questions, and because God of War is Lobo's favorite game, Lobo agrees to help Superman track him down, but points out that he can't get through the blockade. But fear not, beautiful people, because 2 Supercorp scientists suggest that a small spacecraft with cloaking technology may be able to get through. And what do you know? The scientists reveal that they have already built such a craft, Superman's own Space Hog. Alas, the 2 of them jet into space, and after some badassery maneuvering, the pair are successful in breaching the quarantine line without setting off any alarms. Now, as they ride out, Lobo tells Superman that he seems uncharacteristically angry and therefore needs to express his rage or else it will blow up out of control. He also points out that when they first met, they were each the last sons of their respective worlds, but now they both have families, carrying on that legacy. Superman asks him, how he feels about that, but before he can answer, they are attacked by General Chaco and his army. And of course, before the battle can begin, Lobo is briefly starstruck at meeting his idol. Back on the Skull ship, Brainiac emerges from his recovery tank, and it's here where he begins to talk with Luthor. Luthor admits that he was scared by an idea he saw in Brainiac's head, but he also knows what is wrong with Brainiac. And so he offers to help him in his current project and deliver Superman to him if he lets Lena go. And yes, there it is, folks. There's the real LexLuthor, the heartless betrayal bastard. Meanwhile, Supergirl and Superboy attempt to break out from their battles. And it's here where we can see Connor attempting to use his tactile kinesis, which of course, if you remember, during the Chain storyline, Chain had told Connor that he had not reached his full potential. However, Supergirl says that she has a better idea. And with that, she hacks into a piece of Brainiac drone that she was able to hold on to, thus successfully freeing them both from the ball of entrapments. However, they still remain powerless and shrunken down to ant size. Thus, the question is asked, what will these 2 superheroes do in a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids moment? And that, folks, was the end of Superman issue number 13. And thank you guys for checking out my video, as it truly means the world to me. House of Brainiac continues to be a fun Superman-centric event. There's a lot to like in this comic, particularly the teamwork between Superman and Lobo. What's funny about Lobo is that he's a character that, if created today, no one would give a shit. He's definitely a character that could have only existed in the 90s. The way JoshuaWilliamson plays with Lobo is great. He's not some obnoxious turd trying to be edgy. That's all there still, but it's tempered, and it's not over the top like particular characters like Jar Jar Binks. The alliance between both Supes and Lobo is also quite fascinating, at least in terms of their background and, them sharing similarities. Clark, for most of his life, has lived knowing that he's the last son of Krypton, and Lobo has lived something very similar, being the alleged last son of the Caesarian race. But years later, both have families now. Superman has his wife, his kid, and various other Superman-related heroes, and Lobo, he has his daughter Crush. It's a really cool observation that Josh was able to point out, and especially it coming from Lobo himself. I think Lobo is also viewed as an ill-mannered asshole. However, the way Josh is writing him, though, yes, he obviously is, he obviously is that and still has those 90s tendencies, he's also showcasing a somewhat mature manner to him. And so when we see him attempting to warn Superman about, not overreacting, it feels the feels. There's some character growth. Now, there is multiversal, shenanigans happening in this book, but at least it doesn't ruin anything. All it really does is just show us how and why multiple versions of Brainiac are present. And also the question is asked, why is Brainiac throwing up? Is he dying? Is he okay? Like what's happening? Overall, it's good stuff. And if you're already reading Action Comics and Superman, well, don't stop now. Join in on the adventure. So yeah, as always, I'm a majestic sayer of words, SuperCliff. And if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell so that you'll never miss out on an upload, and so that you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. Now tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for House of Brainiac Part 3? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace. Giggity goo.